The time is 6:15. Here is the news edited by Durmin Samarasinghe, read by Victor Raj. Here are the headlines of the local news. The President assures not to neglect the responsibility of managing present challenges and difficulties. The President says he is prepared to support Parliament anytime for constitutional changes. State ministers have been appointed. Pivitru prepared to support no confidence motion against the government by Samagi Jana Balawegaya under conditions. Court rejects a request for travel ban on former Minister Basil Rajapaksa in connection with the bond scam incident. Foreign news: Russian forces bombard Ukrainian cities. Sports news: Sri Lanka Football Federation plans to conduct an international football tournament in September. Local news in detail. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa says ministerial portfolios are not a privilege but a huge responsibility. He has requested the new ministers to commit themselves for honest, efficient and clean administration without using any additional privilege. The President has pointed out that many institutions are facing serious financial crisis and they should not be converted into job-generating organizations. The President said people are affected by many issues that have arisen due to the economic crisis. The President, expressing his regret about the problems, said that he would not neglect the responsibility to manage present challenges and difficulties. There are a group of racketeers who use the difficulties of the people for their gain. The President said that the government would intervene to control the situation. The President pointed out that certain decisions which have been delayed to be taken over decades due to political reasons have to be taken despite the difficulties. The legislative power of the country belongs to the Parliament. There is opportunity to discuss and approve in Parliament various changes to the Constitution expressed by the political parties. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa said that he is prepared to support Parliament at any time in that regard. The government has the responsibility to build a country that meets the aspirations of future generations by taking the economy on correct path. The President said that the country will be saved from the prevailing crisis while respecting the Constitution and making necessary changes by getting the support of the people. Meanwhile, the speech of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa will be broadcast over all services and regional services of SLBC at 7:30 p.m. tonight. Several state ministers have been appointed by the President. Professor J.L. Peris has been appointed as the State Minister for Defence. Rohana Dissanayake has been appointed as the State Minister for Provincial Councils and Local Government Administration. Arundika Fernando is the State Minister for Plantation Industries. Leader of the Pivitru Udaya Gamampila says that they are prepared to support the no confidence motion by the Samagi Jana Balawegaya against the government under two conditions. He said the proposals include guaranteeing the support of 113 members in favor of the proposal and the support of Samagi Jana Balawegaya for an interim all-party government if the government is defeated. He mentioned this while attending a media briefing today. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Continuing with more local news. Colombo Additional Magistrate Harshana Kakunawala has rejected today a request to impose a foreign travel ban for former Finance Minister Basil Rajapaksa in connection with the central bank bond scam. President's Counsel Maitri Gunaratna has made the request to impose the foreign travel ban, naming Mr. Basil Rajapaksa and former Finance Ministry Secretary S.R. Article as witnesses of the incident. Former Director of the Central Bank economist Vincent Fernando says that increasing standing deposit rate is one of the main reasons to increase of income of the people as well as a solution to the dollar crisis. He pointed out that the decision is a timely and wise decision. He said that the present government is not responsible for the economic crisis at present. He said that economic growth decreased gradually during the time of the good governance government from 2015 to 2019 and fell up to 2.3% by 2019. He further said that when the measures are underway to increase the growth to 6.5%, the government had to face the COVID pandemic. He pointed out if not for that situation, a higher economic growth could have been achieved by now. He disclosed that politicians have obtained loans from foreign countries without any policies and the present government has to pay those. He said it is a good solution to obtain a loan from the International Monetary Fund to overcome the crisis. The first proposal of the series of proposals to be presented to the President, Prime Minister, party leaders, public representatives, state officials, trade unions and the public for economic and social revival by Sri Lanka Administrative Services Union has launched today. Chairman of the Union, Rohana De Silva, said that the time has come to find solutions to the economic crisis, setting aside political party differences. Former Director of the Customs, Parakrama Basnayaka, says that the fastest place to print money not only in Uganda but in many other countries is located in Sri Lanka. He said that a branch of United Kingdom's Thomas de la Rue company in Birgama printed that currency. He said that printing of currency is taking place for about nearly 30 years at that place. Thomas de la Rue company prints currency for many countries. He pointed out a company has given more orders to Sri Lanka to print money. Sri Lanka earns $12 billion annually from that process. He said that the printed currency is sent by flights to other countries. That ends local news. Moving on to the main news story. The Parliamentary Business Committee has decided to convene the Parliament from tomorrow to the 22nd to pass several special acts and orders. Several orders under the medical ordinance are scheduled to be taken up for debate and passed from 11 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. A proposal on the extraordinary gazette issued on the 11th of January by the Finance Minister under Excise Ordinance and Customs Ordinance will be taken up for debate on Wednesday. Time has been allocated for oral questions and answers from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. on the days that the Parliament meets. That ends main news story. Moving on to Watchlight. The Lankan Square website has been launched with the long-term goal of the bringing together Sri Lanka living in Canada and building a better relationship among them. Accordingly, www.lankansquare.com acts as a one-stop shop for all Sri Lankans in Canada to access information on business, religious events, concerts, festivals, seminars, workshops, etc. That ends Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
No matter what anyone says, for your lease, visit the Leasing Mahagedara. People's Leasing, Friendly Leasing Mahagedara. More information from the nearest People's Leasing branch.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News, the headlines first. Russian forces bombard Ukrainian cities. Prime Minister says Mariupol defenders will fight to the end. China reports deaths in latest COVID outbreak. World News in detail. Russian forces have bombarded several Ukrainian cities, including Lviv in the west, which had largely escaped unscathed until now. The regional governor says at least 6 people have been killed in strike on military facilities and a car tire service point in Lviv. Blasts have also been reported in the capital Kyiv, the city of Kharkiv in the north and the southern city of Mykolaiv near the port city Odessa have been targeted. Ukrainian Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal says defenders of the besieged city of Mariupol will fight to the end against Russian forces. He said the port city has not fallen despite an ultimatum from Moscow to remaining further to give up. Ukraine's Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba said Russia has chosen to raze Mariupol to the ground. China has reported the deaths of 3 people from COVID in Shanghai for the first time since the financial hub entered lockdown in late March. A release from the City Health Commission said the victims were aged between 89 and 91 and unvaccinated. Shanghai officials said only 38% of the residents over 60 are fully vaccinated. The city is now due to another round of mass testing, which means strict lockdown will continue. To wrap up the world news, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Russian forces bombard Ukrainian cities. Prime Minister says Mariupol defense will fight to the end. China reports deaths in latest COVID outbreak. That ends World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
For your wheel lease, visit the Leasing Mahagedara. People's Leasing, friendly leasing Mahagedara. More information from the nearest People's Leasing branch.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Development News is brought to you by... Let's take all out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Anuradhapura Sipukulam Animal Husbandry Training School, which was temporarily closed down in 2019, has been reopened. The school was opened in 1985 under the Department of Animal Production and Health. It was closed down in 2004 and reopened again in 2014 and continued until September 2019. That ends Development News.
Development News was brought to you by... The coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928. Sports News is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
Sri Lanka Football Federation has made arrangements to conduct an international football tournament in September. Chairman of the Federation, Jaswa Roma, says that they expect to get the participation of several countries for this tournament. He said that India, Maldives, Nepal, Bangladesh, African and Oceania countries are among them. That ends Sports News.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Homeland's Skyline Private Limited broke ground for their next generation project Oceania Beach Resort Apartments Vadua recently, which added 17-acre development to its portfolio of properties. Oceania Beach Resort Apartments, the first ever integrated beach resort apartment complex, integrated hospitality and residential real estate. That ends Business News.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Moving on to economic news, Sri Lanka's listed corporate sector delivered yet another breakout quarter in the 3 months ended December 2021, recording stellar growth, indicating that they had defied the macroeconomic challenges. According to First Capital Research, 284 of Sri Lanka's listed companies reported cumulative earnings of 174.8 billion rupees, recording massive 91.3% growth over the same period a year ago. That ends economic news. Moving on to weather report. Bed department says showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in Sabaragamu, Central, Ubon, North Central and Eastern provinces during the evening or night. Several spells of showers may occur in the Western province and in Gaul, Matara and Puttalam districts. That ends the weather report, and to wrap up the evening news on Radio Sri Lanka, let's take a look at the headlines once again. The President assures not to neglect the responsibility of managing present challenges and difficulties. The President says he is prepared to support Parliament any time for constitutional changes. State ministers have been appointed. Pivitru Helavurume reported to support no confidence motion against the government by Samagi Jana Balawegi under conditions. Court rejects a request for travel ban on former Minister Basil Rajapaksa in connection with the bond scam incident. Foreign news, Russian forces bombard Ukrainian cities. Sports news, Sri Lanka Football Federation plans to conduct an international football tournament in September. With that, we wrap up the evening news broadcast on Radio Sri Lanka. Back to my good friend and yours, Mariela.